else in the administration. Somebody else in the administration actually refers to Jerusalem as the Arab name for Jerusalem, which is meant to be used as a slam to Jews. It basically means Jerusalem doesn't exist. Okay, so we know they're not fans of Israel. We have that. But that doesn't mean anything, does it? Does it have anything to do with why Obama was so clear to destabilize this region? If you come over here, this region, Egypt was on fire. And he was quick to go right to, I mean, Egypt is the only place that is holding the mobs back that are here, because this is what was on fire. At the time he was saying this, this was on fire, Tunisia, Algeria, Morocco, Jordan. We also have, what is this, Yemen, Somalia's down here. This was on fire. Bahrain was on fire at the time. And the president is saying, yes, rise up in the streets. But remember, he didn't do it with Iran. So he unleashes, he takes out, I mean, like or hate Mubarak, and I hated him, but he was the keystone of stability, holding down Israel. But Libya, when he says rise up, Libya, the youth in Libya, they start to rise up. It takes him 10 days to speak out. Okay, this is all old news. You know all of this. This hasn't seemed right, because if you want to speak out against, you want to help the people who are rising up, you don't do what he did in Jeremiah Wright's Iran. You don't do what he did in Jeremiah Wright's Libya and wait and stay quiet. You're busy, no press conference. You help immediately when the momentum is going that way. All right, something's not right. And then something else came to my attention. And nobody has really reported on this. I think I saw this reported on when I was on vacation. We've been looking into it for a while. But again, I was waiting for something, because something's not right. And you know what? I'm just going to tell you what it is now, and what my theory is. But separate my theory from the facts so you know. So let me give you the facts. And you see if you can make a decision to figure it out. Here are the facts. This is a report. It's a report that Libya undertook a massive PR campaign here in America. It ran from 2007 to 2009. It is the project to enhance the profile of Muammar Gaddafi. Listen to this. The goal was to try to improve Libya's image around the world and emphasize Libya's new emerging. But perhaps the toughest goal was to convince you that Muammar Gaddafi was good, that he was an intellectual, that he was a thinker, that he should be an ally. The Monitor Group, it's a PR company here in America, specializes working with governments. It's actually based in Boston. It was started by a few Harvard professors. It's Harvard, keep coming up with this administration. They were hired by Libya to accomplish the task of making Muammar Gaddafi seem good to you, and maybe we could have him as an ally. Now understand this task. That's pretty tough. I mean, you have to convince you that he should be an ally, not a foe. But this is a big task. I mean, Gaddafi doesn't even look sane. We all saw him speak at the UN. He's nuts. Obviously, he needed some help. Well, who did these people call? Well, they called a couple of people. Cass Sunstein was one of them. And the next one was George Soros. In their plan of action, Monitor brags about how they would, quote, introduce and bring to Libya a meticulously selected group of independent and objective experts who would be invited to Libya, meet senior officials, etc., and then go write articles that would be more positively portraying Libya and Colonel Gaddafi. They also wanted to publish a book about Libya based on a series of conversations between Gaddafi and renowned expert visitors like this guy. You ever seen him before? Richard Pearl. This is a neocon. He used to advise what's his name, Dick Cheney, also served under Reagan. And then this guy is Lord Anthony Gibbons. He's a professor at, let's see if this school rings a bell, the London School of Economics and Political Science, home of the Fabian Society. Do we have the window? The home of this, the Fabian Socialists. And the place where George Soros, in his own words, says at the London School of Economics, he learned about an open society. He started his Open Society Institute based on what he learned there. Open Society Institute. Speaking of Soros, he had no problem working with Colonel Gaddafi. In fact, it was Soros who advised the school, the London School of Economics, that it was okay for them to accept $1.5 million gift from the Gaddafi family. Now, Sir Howard Davies, the former head of the London School of Economics, resigned when the news of the gift surfaced because it came with, you got to put Gaddafi's son into school. Now, who did he tout as the school's biggest donor for this? Quote, this is in his resignation. Don't have it? The biggest donor to the school in the past year is George Soros, who, of course, is of Jewish origin. We operate, I believe, in a very balanced view. Okay. So he gets in trouble, but he says, look, we have George Soros on our side. The other professors were embarrassed to be associated and give school to this guy, Colonel Gaddafi. And they were right. Gaddafi's son ended up getting big fancy degrees, and they were later shown to be nothing but plagiarism. He was plagiarizing his thesis. But at the time, Soros again, he makes excuses. And here is his excuse. He goes on, can you show Soros's quote, please? He goes on to say that, if you will, the left will connect with anybody. This is my theme. They'll connect with anyone. Here's what he said. It was a mistaken judgment to convince these guys to take him. It was a mistaken judgment. I had advised the school that it was acceptable to receive the contribution from Gaddafi's son, Saif, on the grounds, listen to this, that he appeared at the time to be a believer in an open society and claimed to be working to move Libya in that direction. So, George Soros and his open society and Cass Sunstein get together with all these people, take money from the Gaddafis to make Gaddafi, bring him into the world and make them look good. Why? Because it's an open society that they've promised they're moving forward. If you have a dream of an open society, a revolution, or a new world order, they'll connect with you. That was all the way back in 2009. He did apologize, and I just gave you the apology. So now where do we go from here? It only gets worse next.